What will never be the same again once the pandemic is over? Make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications to never miss an upload. Time spent with my kids. Pre-pandemic I would leave the house 5 days a week at 6:15 AM to commute to the office, usually before anyone else in my house is awake. And I'd get home most evenings just in time to put them to bed. I'll never go back to that. The past 8 months I've actually seen my boys grow up in front of my eyes, and I get lots of quality time with them every day, even with work from home. I know now what I was missing. Yup. Right there with you, man. Only positive to come from this whole mess. Made me take a step back and rethink my life. Most of the mom and pop stores in my town are gone forever. Some of these stores I grew up with, the Nickel Arcade, the tiny French bakery my aunt took us to when we got good grades, the only ramen shop open after 10 PM, my favorite donut shop, the fancy British tea shop I never had a good date in but many London fogs that were utterly perfect, the only dim sum place, the handmade mochi and tea shop, the only cigar shop in town to get fancy cigars. I lament the death of all these tiny businesses I took for granted. I always thought they'd be around. Now my community is left with just brand-named box stores, no more originality and flavor. Just closed sky-rise buildings surrounded by a garishly lit Denny's, Olive Garden, and Target. I feel for you. My favorite tea house closed, among many other small businesses I adored. Frown. Obliviousness to how many things I touched between hand washings. I used to work retail/cashier, and the way money smells is so fucking gross. I'd help count cash/store cash at open/close, and money just stinks. At the time it was like, yeah, it's gross, but I'll just wash my hands before lunch. Meanwhile, I'd be rubbing my eyes and nose, biting my nails, stocking food, touching my face. I'm genuinely wondering how I didn't get some kind of plague before all this. Probably the grossest thing people don't think about that I learned working retail is a lot of packages in the freezer and refrigerated sections have snot on them. When you are in the cold for so long your nose runs a lot, but they expect you to finish 10 hours of work in 6 hours. If you take the time to blow/wipe your nose every time it drips, you get yelled at for being too slow. So the back of your gloves become a quick and disgusting tissue replacement. Not to mention when a drop falls out 10x quicker than normal for some reason and lands right on the package. Well, it's only on the packaging, so it's not a big deal. Remember that next time you open up a bag of shredded cheese and stick your hand in it. Edit, since people like that one, you might also want pay attention to lids/caps for food/drinks. If it isn't attached with a sticker or plastic, wash it before it contacts the food/drink. There's about a 1 in 10 chance that the cap was off in the box, and it can get hella dusty if it sits in the back for a while. Working in an office, particularly in Japan. I live in Japan. Going to the office and spending all day here is a deep cultural tradition. Asking your manager at a traditional Japanese company to work from home regularly is on par with asking them, hey, I just realized I'm Dragonkin, can you please work with the cafeteria to put live cats on the menu? You would get the same reaction. Even in cases of personal illness or family emergency. So many companies here, even in the early COVID days, flat out publicly said, no, we will never be doing that work from home thing, sorry. That's laughably naive. Then, the country issued a declaration of national urgency, not an actual emergency, as that would entitle the government to be actually accountable to the livelihoods of the people, just a very strong arm public stance and shaming businesses into following suit. Literally those same companies issuing the statements above were scrambling the next week to get their staff safely working from home, online, using remote meeting tools, etc. So, that was a big game changer. Still, everyone was thinking, once the urgency order is lifted, we'll all be going back to work as normal. Well, the urgency order lasted a few months. And those traditional Japanese businesses saw what happened to their bottom lines when they no longer had to pay for electricity, heating AC, cleaning, office equipment and maintenance, subsidized travel expenses to slash from work, soft items like coffee and snacks, etc. And so many of them now are singing the praises of a sensible work-from-home policy and planning for even long-term work-from-home options. Now the society is changing very rapidly to accommodate working from home. More people recently are less looking at buying their first house/apartment in crowded Tokyo outskirts/close suburbs, and looking more to buying 1 to 2 hours away in the boonies where land is actually affordable and living is better. It's watching a sociological essay/study unfold, live, in slow motion. Movies, unfortunately. Cinema specifically. I'm sure a lot of production companies will take enormous losses or possibly file bankruptcy as no one is paying to go see movies anymore. The other issue being that no one can really make movies at the moment either. Travel bans all over, logistic issues, actors not able to be within close proximity to one another, and then all the post-production work that, for the most part, can't be done from home. Little to no support for creative arts jobs from governments around the globe. Artists encouraged to retrain in other sectors. It's devastating. Work in the film and TV industry, mostly TV. In Los Angeles. We shut down for 5 months but are crazy busy now, all studios are packed, union rosters are employed. We've changed how we work a lot, there are a lot of safety protocols, in fact a whole new department has been made because of it, COVID safety. There is a lot more set building and less location work for obvious reasons. I think that film and TV will just evolve, as it has been anyway. Not so many summer blockbusters and holiday theater seat fillers, more long-form mini-series etc. that are more suited for home TV. It sucks to say too, because I love the theater experience. Either way, just came here to say content is being made in one way or another and the people who work here are fully employed. Not sure what's actually happening with the studios but I'll take the paychecks while I can. Absolutely agree, union work here in LA is picking up again fast. Content will still get made but I bet we're going to see more virtual sets, like The Mandalorian, and a lot less location shooting. I'm on a scripted TV show and we're working a normal production/post-production schedule with all the COVID safety protocols. I'm curious. Has your show, or any other show that you know of, just had the actors wear masks on camera, acknowledging the pandemic and working it into the storyline? No, my show hasn't. I think Grey's Anatomy is doing something like that, though, centering the new season's storyline around COVID.